Welcome to the 2020 Walter Pruter Project of the Year Awards. Hello, I'm Albert Carrillo, the CEO for the Western Wall and Ceiling Contractors Association. Each year, the WWCCA celebrates the hard work and contributions of our contractor members, their suppliers, and our affiliated members by recognizing projects that exemplify the excellence that is our union construction work. We also recognize the importance of safety and its crucial role in completing these projects. Normally, we have a large dinner celebration and award presentation, but due to our current circumstances, we're bringing this presentation to you virtually. To start our presentation, I'd like to introduce Darren Coates, CTO for the Technical Services Information Bureau. Darren's going to announce our Safety Award winners. Darren?
Thank you, Albert. I would like to acknowledge this year's Safety Awards winners. 0 to 250,000 hours, the Berg Group. 250,000 hours to 500,000 hours, Superior Wall Systems, Inc. 500,000 hours to 1 million, Brady SoCal, Inc. Over 1 million hours, Raymond, Southern California. Please sit back and enjoy our recognition of this year's Walter F. Pruter Project of the Year Awards presentation.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Interior Hospitals and Healthcare, Sharp Grossmont Hospital, Raymond, San Diego, Inc.
My name is ADRIAN Guerrero. I work for the Raymond Group in San Diego, and I'm a project engineer. Project is for Sharp Grossmont Hospital for interior renovation. In this project, Raymond performed drywall, framing, taping, and plaster at all interior phases. A unique aspect of this project was finding unique transitions from an existing 1950s building into new drywall and new finishes. Biggest challenge at the Sharp Grossmont project was making sure all patients and nurses were kept safe while we were in the phases. This was a live hospital, and making sure that from noise control to dust control were kept out of the way of all the patients. At the Sharp Grossmont project, the design assist was mostly through engineering judgments that we had to bring up to make sure we could bring the building back up to code. One of my favorite parts of this project was seeing the old 1950s material, the old plaster, the old drywall, the old framing, and converting it into up to code now. It was a complete different building from when we started. My team deserves this award because of their hard work, their dedication to making this hospital look great for everybody that walks in, for all patients and employees. It's a great finished product for everybody to see in the healthcare community.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Exterior Retail, the Webster LA, Pacific Wall Systems, Inc.
My name is Leah Wimberly, and I am an estimator, project manager, and an RME for Pacific Wall Systems. Pacific Wall Systems performed the GFRC, or the Glass Fiber Reinforced Concrete scope of the Webster, a high-end luxury retailer at Beverly Center. One of the project's many features is a massive exterior soffit that spans across multiple floors of the building. The soffit's street-facing side features precast concrete, while the store-facing side showcases 21 rows of 8 or 9 GFRC parts each, with each piece weighing over 175 pounds and measuring over 10 foot 8 inches. The spacing and tolerance requirements for 21 rows of GFRC and all joints presented an interesting challenge. The joints were 3/8 of an inch and are highly visible to the human eye, leaving absolutely no room for air. A unique element of this project was, in all, there are about 180 handcrafted parts totaling nearly 30,000 pounds of GFRC. I wouldn't say there were methods unique to our firm that were used, but I really do believe that our relationship with both Martin Brothers and Moonlight Molds played a huge part in making this project a success. I'm really proud of our entire team that worked on this project. A lot of people worked incredibly hard to bring this to fruition. I know there are plenty of brilliant projects out there. To even be considered for this award is a tremendous honor.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Exterior multifamily. UCSD, Nuevo Housing, the Neville Group, Inc.
My name is Todd STEDMAN. I'm a project executive for the Neville Group. The project was the Nuevo student housing, both campuses, east and west. Our scope was interior and exterior framing, drywall, sheathing, lath, plaster, continuous insulation, air barrier, and rain screen. The biggest challenge in this project was the overall size and schedule. We had over 7 towers, 2 common buildings in a 24-month schedule. We had manpower, weather concerns, the expediency of the overall project schedule, and the amount of work took a lot of effort, and it really challenged our company. There were a couple unique design elements, one of them being a sawtooth design on the exterior of the West Campus, which limited the amount of straight wall. So we had over 86 sawtooths, which created 4 inside and outside corners. Our team deserves this award because the sheer size and schedule of this project, combined with the challenge of 8 different plaster finishes, rain screen, metal panels, stone veneer, came together in a beautiful product and was tied together wonderfully with the design team for a great addition to the UCSD campus.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Las Vegas Project of the Year, Circa Casino and Resort, George M. Raymond Company.
My name is Ron Roberts. I'm with the George Raymond Company out of Las Vegas, Nevada. The project was the brand new Circa Hotel and Casino in downtown Las Vegas. It's the first major casino to be built downtown in over 40 years. Raymond was responsible for the podium levels, basically the basement and the 5th floor pool deck. The basement comprised of a high-end steakhouse and some of their back house offices. First and second floors were a complete casino, an amazing 3-level sports book that actually went all the way from the basement to the bottom of the 2nd floor. One of the unique elements that we had were the majority of our ceilings were actually prefabricated. Instead of building them in place, we were able to bring them into the building after all or most of the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing was already up. We had some challenges as far as fitting all of the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing inside of a building that usually is reserved for another section outside because of space requirements. All of the MEP cooling towers and everything actually built within the casino itself. I think it deserves the award. It's just typical of a Raymond project. I think we do quality work. I think it's unique. I think it's on the cutting edge of technology as far as using our resources to give the owner a product that he can be proud of and meeting the 3 challenges of schedule, budget, and quality.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Interior Multifamily, 8600 Wilshire, Quality Production Services, Inc.
My name is Carlos Silva. I'm a project engineer with Quality Production Services.
My name is Lenny EASTMAN, project engineer for Quality Production Services.
My name is Rob WAGNER. I'm the senior project manager for DHC Builders.
My name is CARLA KOTOYANTZ, and I am the president of Quality Production Services. 8600 Wilshire is a residential project. It's located in Beverly Hills. It's an 18-unit structure. It has 3 townhouses, 5 villas, 2 studios, and 8 condos, and they all face a private garden.
The entrance to the building is to make you feel like a cave. So a lot of the walls are offset. They're used a dark Venetian-style plaster, and it opens up to a reflecting pool with a open skylight above it. So you kind of get this aura feeling as you enter into the center of the building.
One unique feature of this building was the living wall at the exterior, where we installed the exterior dense glass sheathing all the way around. It's a water efficient and drought tolerant living wall. It's already breaking records. It's the largest living wall in the country, and it features actual physical nature that was brought in from the LA foothills.
One of the biggest challenges on this project for us was framing for the water feature in the lobby area. It was really tricky to frame because the walls were at odd angles and shapes, and the fountain was a unique radius. There was no real hard corner for us to pull everything from. An advantage we had out there was having a great team. We were able to knock it out of the park.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Exterior Commercial, the Westin Anaheim, Raymond, Southern California, and Martin Brothers.
My name is Arturo Sanchez, project manager for Martin Raymond joint venture for the Westin project.
My name is SKYLAR Johnson, project manager for Martin Raymond joint venture.
We did the exterior framing on the Westin Hotel from the first floor to the roof. We did all the drywall, the lath, plaster, foam shapes, precast, and the limestone finish on the job.
A unique element on this project was the foam shapes, precast, and limestone base that we did on the project. There were over 50 different shapes, and there was over 12 miles of these foam and precast shapes on the project. The foam would actually attach to the outside of that column profile to create an outboard look. The biggest challenge we had on this project was we were up against a 16-month schedule.
Along with the schedule, we also had to get creative with the design team and make these architectural features come to life. And there was a lot of questions in the air that we worked hand in hand with the design team to make it what it is today.
We had a full design assist for this project for the exterior framing system. The first floor itself was 23 feet, and so we did have heavy gauge metal framing that had to span that high. It was a huge undertaking as far as getting the permitting process going. My favorite part of this project was being able to bring two competitors together and work together as a team.
We were able to be creative, collaborate, and become friends, and it just made the job that much easier.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Interior Retail, AMC Montclair, the Neville Group, Inc.
I'm Nikki Rainwater. I'm a project manager at the Neville Group. The project is AMC Theater at Montclair Mall. This theater is a dine-in, full-service theater with a bar. There were 12 auditoriums, each unique, one of them being a Dolby and an IMAX theater. Neville Group did the framing, drywall, taping, and ceilings. The biggest challenge was the sequencing within the theaters. All of the high work had to be done prior to structural steel coming in, which wouldn't have been a typical build. So we all had to work really close together and respect each other's durations and time within the space. A unique element would have been the magnitude and quantity of the interior studs. The theater walls ranged from 42 to 47 feet tall. So we had 6-inch framing that was 12 inches on center, full of CRC and backing for the handrails and speakers. The studs had to get hoisted into place with a pulley system. So a typical 2-man framing crew changed to a 3 to 4-man framing crew, just due to the height and size of these framing members. The strictest requirement of the project was the STC ratings. Each auditorium had to be completely soundproof from one another. Some of the large theaters had over 1,000 sheets of sound breakboard in them. It took a lot of pre-planning and teamwork to keep this schedule, and also safety was a key factor. There's a lot of high work and heavy framing, and safety stayed in the mind of everyone to make sure it was a successful project.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Exterior Retail, the Webster LA, Martin Brothers.
I'm Pam PANCOAST, and I'm a senior project manager for Martin Brothers Markowall. The Webster LA is a new flagship store at the Beverly Center on the corner of Beverly Boulevard and San Vicente, and it's a luxury multi-brand retailer designed by David Adjay. Martin Brothers performed metal stud framing, drywall, sheathing, waterproofing, lath, acoustical plaster, and EIFS. It was unique because the Webster is almost more like a museum than a store. All the walls and soffits are radiused, and they all have a knockdown pink acoustical plaster on them. And all the interior walls were built on top of 7-foot pink concrete curbs. The interior ceiling was the Pyrock plaster, and there were about 500 round fixtures, about 20 different sizes, different depths, and we came up with an idea to design them and 3D print them. And so our BIM department modeled all the different trim styles and then we 3D printed them, and it really worked out well. It's an existing building. It was 4 floors high. You run into challenges when you're remodeling an existing building. I think they deserve the award because we met many challenges thrown at us. We came up with solutions quickly to keep moving forward. And that's part of why Martin Brothers was hired to do this job. They knew it was going to be difficult, and they knew that they could depend on us to get the job done.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for EIFS, The Secret Life of Pets, KHS&S Contractors, Inc.
My name is Faith Latka. I'm a project manager with KHS&S Contractors. Secret Life of Pets Off the Leash is an attraction at Universal Studios Hollywood and was completed in March. KHS&S scope included interior and exterior framing, plaster, drywall, eaves, and architectural ornamentation. One of the biggest challenges that we faced at the Secret Life of Pets was constructing this attraction within an operating theme park while guests were there on a daily basis. So trying to keep the confidentiality of the project and then also working all of the pieces in, having deliveries come in the middle of the night, making sure everything was stocked and there when we needed it to get started at the beginning of the day. KHS&S was pretty involved with the design of this project. We took a lot of the concepts from the film and then had to help turn them into reality here and working with Universal Creative and Illumination Entertainment to make sure we were staying true to the IP and to the story. One of the most unique elements of this project was that we had to rely on every department within KHS&S, starting with estimating, value engineering, handing that off to our construction design department, through to our themed resources group. That's something that I'm personally very proud of, is how many departments had a hand in making this project a success. This team deserves this award because there were so many moving parts and pieces, and without every single individual involved, we couldn't have made it. It wouldn't have been possible.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Exterior Renovation, GUERRERO Bathhouse and Pavilion, Tarleton & Son, Inc.
I'm Gary Schenk with Tarleton & Son. I'm the General Manager of Southern California. This project is the GUERRERO Pavilion and Bathhouse located in the Santa Barbara coastline. It was originally constructed to be a service provider of summer events. It's a historical landmark which was brought in to be a complete overhaul based on the dilapidation of it residing on the coastline of California. We were brought into the project to do a very unique plaster system, lath and plaster, based on historical levels. There were a couple different unique styles of this building. The coffered ceilings, which were to be constructed with plaster reinforced molds, all hand mitered in place throughout the entire first floor, as well as new corbels added to the columns. All of these elements had to be reconstructed to fit, again, the 100-year-old craftsman mentality, so they had to replicate the original as exact as possible. I feel that Tarleton and our employees are deserving of this reward for a simple reason that this project, which took a completely different mindset than the traditional mindset of everyday applications, our guys were willing to get on board with it, listen to what had to be done, learn the techniques, and get involved in it to produce the outcome that we would have hoped for and that we actually received on this project. I commend them tremendously. They've done a great job.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Residential, 911 Tyone, Performance Contracting, Inc.
My name is Angel Ruiz. I've been project engineer for PCI for about 3 years now.
My name is Bo Negretti. I'm the carpenter overseeing the field operations out at 911 Tyone.
The project that we worked on was a residential project. It consisted of a main house and a guest house. The main house was 3 stories. And the guest house had 2. Our scope of work was all the drywall, metal ceilings and soffits, and the level 5 finish.
One thing that really stands out to me would have to be making and installing custom reveals that wrapped around a one-of-a-kind staircase at the main entrance from top to bottom. The staircase had multiple curves and bends that could not be prefab. As far as something unique, we use drywall suspended ceiling grid system to complete our larger areas instead of using a conventional ceiling framing, which covered more square footage. In return, we did it faster, more efficient. A lot of the reveals and finishes had to line up perfect. If there was anything in or out, it was ripped out and redone. There was zero tolerance. This was actually a really tough aspect of this job.
The reason why the team deserves the award was because of how strict the project was in terms of the zero tolerance. It involved a lot of attention to detail, a lot of patience, a lot of QC, making sure everything was straight and aligned. And that's not something that's typical to this extreme. And I think the guys we had out there and probably the big reason why the project turned out as well as it did.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Exterior Hospitals and Healthcare. Kaiser Woodland Hills, Schmidt Contracting, Inc.
My name is Matt Chilla, Southern California Commercial Sales, Parks USA.
I'm Danny Mays, Senior Project Manager with Schmidt Contracting Incorporated. The Kaiser Woodland Hills project is a remodel of an existing facility on the interior and then a brand new ground up 2-story building that houses the new emergency facilities and emergency entry for the hospital. The unique features on this building are the EIFS system that's painted with a metallic coating, originally scheduled to be metal panels that were value engineered out to an EIFS system. Down at the lower 7 feet of the building, it's 7 feet of Anciano finish that is cut to make it look like stacked stone and block.
Some of the challenges in the field was getting the level 5 finish necessary for the application of the metallic coating to ensure that we actually do resemble a metal type panel.
In terms of design assist, we actually worked extensively with RX, McCarthy, and HMC architects in achieving the look for the finishes on this building. And it was a collaborative effort amongst a variety of people. I think this team deserves this award because of the level of quality that was required to achieve these systems. It's not the average ordinary cookie cutter EIFS system. It's maybe once in a career that you see this level of quality on wall.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Arizona Project of the Year, Canopy Hotel, MKB Construction, Inc.
The overall look of the building was really unique. Anybody that drives by will tell you that. I'm Cameron Geske with MKB Construction. I'm the estimator and the project manager for the Hilton Canopy.
I'm Jason Anderson. I'm one of the partners at MKB Construction and one of the managing directors at Capture Prefab.
The project is the Hilton Canopy Tempe. It is a 14-story hotel building in the middle of Arizona State University in Tempe. We perform the interior scope to work, starting with the metal framing, the drywall, the finish, fire stopping, and some unique sound isolation components. And we performed the exterior framing, sheathing, air barrier, EIFS, and metal panel, including a full prefabricated exterior wall system on the main facades of the building provided by Capture Prefab. The largest challenge we faced on this building was creating some sound isolated ceilings that needed to perform to a specific IIC and STC rating, being that the floors were exposed concrete to deaden the sound between floors. The name of the game here at MKB is all about efficiency and production. We use a Hilti Top Track Seal product. We use a corner bead machine that will coat the bead with mud and cut it to the exact length needed, and that created a huge benefit to production.
I would say probably the most unique feature that we had was the AS2 fight song in music keys is basically patternized into the elevation of the building in metal panel. It was a 100% safe project, and we delivered on time, and I think we exceeded the quality expectations.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Interior Renovation and TI, White & Case, LLP, Sharp Interior Systems, Inc.
My name is Jack Johnson. I'm a project manager for Sharp Interior Systems. The White & Case project was a full floor build out in downtown LA for a high-end law firm. This was a full floor TI build out with Howard Building Corporation. It consisted of 24,000 square feet of floor space and 77,000 square feet of interior drywall. Due to all the tight framing constraints and the beams and MEP elements we were framing around, we had to take it back and use some of the old school methods such as board framing and a couple items such as that. I think I appreciated most the main lobby and gathering area. It had an interconnecting stair connected to a large pantry with a 3,000 square foot drywall ceiling. And in that ceiling, it had coffered ceiling elements, light coves, linears, along with a level 5 finish. So when it was all said and done and all tied together, it really created like a nice, clean, smooth aesthetic. One distinguishing characteristic of this project is probably the density of offices. This project had very little interior cubicles. It was all hard-walled offices. We had a ton of walls to build, a ton of drywall. I mean, 70,000 square feet of drywall in a single floor build-out isn't typical, but it's a drywaller's dream. So I was very fortunate to be part of the project. There's many high-end projects out in the LA market, and I think many are deserving. I'm just glad that we're honored to be chosen for this year's award.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Schools, Hoover High School, Brady SoCal Inc.
My name is Richard Gabaldon. I work for Brady SoCal, and I was a senior project manager. This is the Hoover High School new theater and classroom building. This 75,000 square foot project consists of a new 500-seat state-of-the-art theater building, in addition to a separate 3-story classroom building housing 20 classrooms and student services support spaces. Brady SoCal was responsible for the light gauge metal framing, drywall, exterior plaster, and acoustical plaster. Through the architect owner, we are able to replicate the look and feel of the original 1930s building. Specific challenges were we were working in a very tight area. The campus was live later on in the project. COVID, of course, came into play. Some of the notable details were we installed over 28,000 linear foot of plaster trims. There was framing and sawtooth walls in the theater walls, compound radius acoustical plaster ceilings. My favorite part was the history of the project, and being a native San Diegan, it was just being proud of Brady being able to replicate and work on this project. I believe we deserve the award because we achieved what the architect and owner and community was looking for. They wanted to replicate the school in its purest form, and I think we achieved that.
Now presenting the 2020 Project of the Year Award for Themework, Golden Gate Expansion, Raymond, Southern California, Inc.
My name is Mike Walker. I'm the project manager for Raymond, Southern California. I'm working on the Golden State Expansion Project. The Disney Golden State Expansion Project is the new Avengers campus, which incorporates all of the new Marvel opportunities that Disney has acquired over the last few years. We worked on framing drywall, lath plaster, brick veneer, fiber reinforced plastic, gypsum reinforced concrete. We also did a lot of themed painting and other various themed plaster items, including rock work and carvable epoxy. One unique element on this project was being able to do the miscellaneous custom items that you don't typically get on your standard framing drywall job. Everything on this job was custom designed and custom fabricated and was installed by specialty tradesmen. That was one of our highlights. One of the challenges was working on so many different areas at one time. We were spread out throughout the land, taking care of multiple different areas that all included custom items that needed some very detailed attention. Projects like this, I think I enjoy the most because it's challenging and you get to work with great people that are all kind of on the same page, and we're just looking to put together a great product for the public to enjoy.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation and would like to say congratulations to all of the Walter Pruter and Safety Award winners. And thank you, viewers, for taking time to watch this presentation. We look forward to meeting again in person, but until then, stay safe and we'll see you soon.